Hi everyone, this quick video is going to demonstrate how to draw some simple graphs, either relations or functions, on your graphic calculator. So when you turn it on, you have this main menu. Each of these little icons is a different application. So we need to move using the arrow keys here to the graphing app. Execute is the same as enter. Now I've got things in here from before, so I'll just delete these. If the first time if you open this up, there'll probably be nothing in there. And each of these is going to be a formula that starts with y equals. And we can have lots of different graphs. So y1, y2 just mean the first, the second, the third graph, and so on. Let's begin at the top one. Now, if I give something as simple as y equals 4, this key here allows me to use a variable, x. So what did I say? 4x minus 11. And then I press the enter key, and that's now stored in the memory. I have these different choices, and each of these is accessed by the function keys 1 to 6. I'll go straight to draw, and there's my picture. If I'm not sure, if I don't like the scale, the size of the axes here, I can use the view window, view window, and it default, this is one of the settings. I can try an initial setting, and the initial setting, I then press exit, back to draw. Now this initial setting is nice because every step here on the X is the same size as the step on the Y. It's in a nice proportion. I can also zoom. I can zoom in or out. I can change the zoom factor. At the moment the zoom factor is 1.2, so it will increase in or out, increase by 20%. If I wanted to be a bit faster, I could zoom by 5 times, press enter, and then 5 times, press enter again. Now check the zoom. If I zoom in, and it's saying where do you want the center of the picture to be, the zoom point. So it's zoomed in by 5 times. That was a bit much. I could zoom out. Again, focused on, if I wanted to move to a different place, I use the arrow keys to change the focus point of the zoom. That's back to the original, and if I zoom out once more, then it's way bigger than it was to start with. So that's that one. I'll just set them back to the initial settings there, so that it's, and that's always a good place to start if you get stuck. So that's good. Now, if I don't want to see that, I can highlight it, and then select is F1. It's also deselect. So you see how that's no longer highlighted on the equals. If I try to draw that, I get a mistake because there's nothing to draw. Let's try a quadratic. What if I go 0.2 by x squared minus 3x plus 1. See the highlight there on the second one? So when I draw, I get the picture that's in red. Jump this one back and forth to toggle between graphing and text. If I go here, I'll press F1 once more to highlight. Draw it again. This time I get both of them. I want to zoom out a bit so I can have a bit better look at what's going on. I've just zoomed out. I can see the parabola now, definitely a parabola. There's my straight line. You can do all sorts of interesting things. Now that's... do one more thing. I'll just delete these guys, get rid of them. Now all of these though have to start with y equals, and then we put formula involving x. This is a very important key down here for the type of graph. There's lots of different types, but sometimes I want to write a formula starting with x. So if I said, for instance, that I wanted to have a graph where x equaled 5, and then I press this key again, it gives me the y as the pronumeral in this case. And let's make it y squared. X equals 5 times y squared. And now I graph it, and that's my graph. That's gone out a bit too far. Let's zoom in. There's my graph of y of x equals 5 times y squared. Once I'm on this window, I can always use the arrow keys to move back and forth if I want to. Okie doke. Well, I think that's probably